Please, just talk. Do something. Make a contribution. Do something, god damn it. Fucking speak!
Love, and leg drops, bitches.
Peace, love, and leg drops.
Peace, love, and leg drops.
Peace, love, and leg drops. We love to crop. We love to crop. Peace, love, and leg drops.
Peace, love, and leg drops.
Fuck you.
After Party Hangover.
Welcome to the After Party Hangover. I am your host, Mangria Fueled, and this is a show that talks about a show that talks about a show. Today's guest, the creator of the exclusive Hall of Fame Instagram chat, it is Zankchris. What is going on, my man?
Not too much. Thanks for having me on.
No problem. This has been a long time coming. We finally nailed it. We got it.
Yes. Yeah, it's been one of those things, just a scheduling problem, and it's just worked out because I was going to Disney and stuff, but now I'm finally on, which is awesome.
Well, let's go ahead and start out like every hangover. Explain to the listeners your Instagram name, please.
It's funny because I had two Instagrams. I had one originally, and that one got hacked by a bunch of porn chicks.
Oh,
and so it just got all screwed up. It was originally Big Snack, and that got all hacked up, and I couldn't even get it back into it. So then I just started a new one, whole new Instagram, and just popped up as the name suggestion was Zankchris. And I was like, well, that's fine. I'm like, that works for me. So that's how it just worked. It just suggested a name, and that's how I took it. So that's what ended up happening.
Well, I'm glad I'm not the only one because, like, once a week it says, like, Hot Girl 46 has invited you to a group chat. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then I just deleted it immediately. Now I know for sure that's some shady shit. All right.
Yeah,
well,
Instagram's got some shit on it.
Let's go all the way back to the beginning. When did
All
Mr. Zankchris start watching wrestling?
Listen to some of the after party podcasts on the YouTube. I was listening to them. I've been watching wrestling, and I thought about this since my uncle introduced me back, and now I'm going to sound old because I am, but I started watching it like WrestleMania 3. Like, he introduced me.
Wow.
Like, he's like, hey, you come over and check out this like WrestleMania thing. And I was young back then. I was like, all right, I'll check it out. And I was like hooked. As soon as I saw Hogan and everything and Andre, I was hooked. And then it was like, oh, can I find this? And it was on like Saturdays and stuff, and it was on at really strange times, and WWF was the only game in town then, so I was like watching it, and I was hooked back then. So I didn't watch it all the time, but I watched as much as I could. And then my uncle knew that I really liked it, so we got like every WrestleMania ever since. So it was really cool that I got hooked all the way back at WrestleMania 3.
Did you watch the whole WrestleMania 3 when you were young, or did you just specifically watch the Hogan and Andre?
Yes, I did. I got to watch the whole thing. I was at my uncle's house. My parents let me stay up late and everything for it, which was pretty.
Why I asked is because the match that most like hardcore fans reference on WrestleMania 3 is the Macho Man Ricky Steamboat match. That's why I was asking if you watched the whole thing or just that. Well, that's awesome, man.
Nope, I watched all of it.
I don't want to age shame you, but you might be older than me.
I'm probably one of the oldest SRAP fans. I'm probably one of the oldest. So, yeah, but I loved it ever since then. And, it's been something that I've watched, and I've gained into it, and I've, like, hooked, and I'm watching it all the time. And then when I was in college, I got interested in other stuff, and I was like, forget it, I'm not watching wrestling as much. But I was there for, like, the Monday Night Wars, and I watched it all, man. I've watched, like, wrestling change so much since when I was a kid. But it's pretty awesome. It's a big pastime of mine.
So Monday Night Wars, were you a WWF or a WCW guy?
Back then, no DVRs, no nothing. It was like the channels. I was a WWF guy. I was, because it's like I had The Rock, I had Stone Cold, we had everybody. But every once in a while, I kept switching back and forth because I had to see what the NWO was doing. So I had to check that out too. Yeah. But it was switching back and forth between channels at commercial breaks. That's what it was.
That's awesome, man.
I loved it.
How did you discover the Steel Real After Party podcast?
Back at the old one, and I can't remember the exact title of it, but that was the one when Zanka did it with the other guy. Yep, still radio. Yep. And I watched, and then it disappeared. I was like, what the heck? Like, I was like, where is this podcast? It was like one of the few wrestling podcasts I listened to because it was pretty cool. And I was like, this is different. And so, yeah, I listened to all those and then just disappeared on us for a while. Then it came back. And I was like, holy crap, it's back.
Oh, so
So I've been listening to both of them.
Random wrestling podcast, and you found it like that?
Yeah.
Oh wow, you might be the first one to say it wasn't the memes.
No, I like the memes too. Definitely like the memes. That's what hooked me too. But yeah, it was really just searching for random wrestling podcasts, and I was like, wanted something to listen to. I drive a commute that's like about 35 minutes long one way. So it's like I drive to work, and when I drive to work, I listen to podcasts on the way in.
Yeah, that was my next question.
So that's what I do.
Ask you how and when do you listen to it? That's a good 30 minutes of Steel Real After Party to and from.
Yep, definitely. And then sometimes on my lunch breaks too, I listen to it. So.
Do you have a favorite segment or favorite?
Closed doors, though. I listen to it when I close my door. I don't have that stuff open. Or anybody could be listening to Linda's Bush and everybody else. So.
Do you have a favorite moment or segment of the podcast in the past couple years?
When I had they won this year, that was pretty cool. They did the whole Kayla thing with Lars, and that was pretty fun because it was recorded exactly on my birthday. So I think that was probably one of my favorite things. And everything, they all keep making me laugh. That's why I keep listening. So it's good stuff, man.
The birth of
real
Jeff
good shit.
Lars is such good shit, pal.
That's good shit.
Okay, well, since you've been a lifelong wrestling fan, there's got to be at least 24 favorite theme songs. But what's at the top of your list of your favorite theme songs that you got a ringtone of, that you work out to, that you listen to on your commute?
There's so many of them. There was one that I was thinking about that I know I loved here. There was a Raw theme, and it was by Union Underground. It was a while ago. It was back in like the early 90s time. That was awesome. I loved that song. I loved a lot of them. I love all different kinds of ones. I like Stone Cold ones. I like when they just talk at the beginning. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
There's so many. It's like it's right at the bad side of thing. The Chris was awesome because it was super hardcore.
And we're never gonna
I
hear
like
it again.
Edge's theme song. Yeah, exactly. Ever. But I do like Edge's theme song. Yeah. So there's just a ton of them that I like.
Yeah.
Yep. Even
favorite
back in the day, I just like when Ultimate Warrior ran out, and it was like, and he just ran straight out to the ring. I love that one.
Ropes, you get all into it at home. You start throwing stuff.
Exactly. Huge. When I was a kid, I was running around like him. It's awesome. So, yeah. Other ones, like I like AJ's theme song. I think his is badass. I got that on my iTunes, and I rock that every once in a while. So, the one pre-OC for that. So, yeah. So, Kevin Owens is awesome, too. His is good.
A favorite superstar over the past 3 decades that is your favorite?
There's so many. That's so. It's like it's not like the high end top guys I like. I kind of like the mid card guys, like Kevin Owens. I love. I like Bray Wyatt. I definitely like Bray Wyatt. I like Bray Wyatt, Old Edition and New Fiend. I liked him a lot. I was rocking his shirts, even though he lost like all the time back when he was Old Wyatt. So I like him. I like Kevin Owens. I like Sami Zayn. I like AJ. Like Gallows and Anderson. Those are all the newer ones. Back in the day, I loved Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors. I loved them. I love Big Boss Man, Bam Bam Bigelow. All the bigger guys I kind of liked. Ultimate Warrior, like we said, I liked him.
So when it comes to
Hogan,
theme songs and when it comes to superstars, it's like trying to pick your favorite kid. You just can't pick one. There's just a smorgasbord of it's an embarrassment of riches, in other words.
Exactly. There's so many that I actually like to watch, and so many I like now, and so many I liked back then, and it's just different then now. So it's just different stuff. But yeah, I like a lot of wrestlers now. A lot of them are WWE, some are not WWE. Like Jericho's killing it over on AEW. Oh, yeah. I love that stuff.
He's nailing it.
Mm-hmm.
What about a favorite match of yours? A match that got the most reaction out of you, or that you would show other people to try to get them into wrestling, like your uncle got you into wrestling?
That's a challenging question. There's so many that it's hard to say. Like, what would if I had to sit somebody down to watch a wrestling match, it would probably be something with like AJ currently, to like a modern one. If it was older, definitely would be something probably with like Macho Man is what I'm thinking, because Macho Man just could go in the ring at any time. But if it's like I was trying to introduce somebody to like a modern wrestling, definitely would be like an AJ or a Kevin Owens or someone like that. Something going on right there. I think that would be the people I would want to introduce people to. Like Sami Zayn, Nakamura. That was a great match back in NXT.
Yeah.
Lots of shit from NXT was killer. Just gets overlooked a lot of times, I think, sometimes.
What's your favorite gimmick match to watch?
There are tons of them. I do like Hell in a Cell. I love Hell in a Cell.
The finishing move, crumb offs. I'm going to have you decide between the jackhammer versus the Kinshasa. I can't even say that right. I sound drunk. What is your decision? Your fate, these two finishing moves' fates are in your hands. You get to pick what moves on in the finishing move crumb offs.
Kinshasa. That's what I pick.
All right, Kinshasa. There we go. Sorry, Goldberg. Kinshasa moves on. All righty. Let me reach into my bag of Instagram questions here. All righty, let's see. For $1,000 in pennies and a great story, would you rather bang a group of special needs clowns, male and female, or 8 meth head midgets?
Ooh. 8 meth head midgets sounds like it could be a fun time. So I think I'm going to take that one.
There you go. You can call them Dink, Wink, and Doink.
Dank and Pink and Rink.
There you go. All righty, let's go ahead and get into the Steel Rail After Party, episode 92, The Cosby Cocktail, before it cuts off on us again. First of all, this is the end of an era. The no more Wednesday Steel Rail After Party. So we'll get them a day earlier, and it's going to be a weird adjustment, but I think it'll be good in the long run. What do you think?
I wish it was Saturdays, man. Really, I do. I know it's hard for them to do it on Saturdays, but Saturdays would just be the end of the week and all the shows would be done then.
Yeah.
But it'll be, like you said, an adjustment.
Zanka was telling Jake to be more positive, saying, you can suck 6 dicks and not get AIDS. Look on the bright side, Jake, which I thought was pretty funny. And they were talking about the time we're living in now, where Zanka wanted to pull his balls out, but Jake said it'd probably be rape. And then Zanka goes, look, the shaft is rape. The balls are funny. That's pretty fucking funny. That's the case we were talking about earlier, where you have to shut the door or roll the window up when you're listening to the podcast.
Yes, definitely. Definitely need to close my office door when I'm listening to the podcast. Like that, for sure.
And then Jake said his new favorite wrestler in AEW is Brandon Cutler, because he's a Dungeons and Dragons wrestler, which I had no idea. Because Brandon Cutler looks like a mini Stone Cold, like an anorexic Stone Cold or something. I had no idea he was a Dungeons and Dragons guy.
He does kind of. Yep, he is a D&D dude, which totally caught my guard too. And I actually play D&D too, which is funny. When Jake talked about it, he's like, yeah, I play D&D. I was like, I've been playing D&D like my entire life, just as much as wrestling. I've been playing it since I was like, I think 14 is when I started. So
damn, you gotta
been playing it a long
Jake, man. Do your own game.
Exactly, definitely. It would be awesome if we could. That'd be sweet.
I'm familiar with it. You do like campaigns, right? You do like mini stories and your character grows or something.
Yep, I actually grew up doing it with my high school buddies, and it was one of those things that I just stuck to doing. We're actually getting together tomorrow to do like a Halloween spooky game is what we're going to do tomorrow. Nice. So it's going to be pretty sweet. So all horror themed and stuff like that. It'll be pretty cool.
Oh, that's right. I wanted to talk to you about movies before it cut out on us 100 times. I noticed that you posted, I trolled your Instagram a little bit, and I noticed that you
that's fine.
Posted such movies as like Us and Dead Silence, which is one of my favorites. What did you think
awesome.
about Us?
Dude, I loved Us. You know what I just got today in the mail, and I'm itching to watch it. I've heard so many good things about. Have you heard of this movie called Midsommar?
Yes.
It just came out.
The director,
it was over like the summer.
guy who made that movie, he made The Witch, and he made
and Hereditary.
Yep. And this is his next one.
And both movies are sick. Both movies are awesome. I love them both, actually. So, yeah, when I heard about Midsommar, I never got to see it over the summer, and I wish I did in theaters, but it just passed me by too quickly. But, yeah, when it came out on Blu-ray, I was like, I got to get this movie. So I bought it, like, earlier in the week when it first came out.
I couldn't get anyone to see it with me.
Well,
so I didn't watch it. But I want to watch it. I heard it's gruesome and stuff.
That's what I've heard, too. I've heard it's a masterpiece is what I put. Shit. So I was like, damn, that's high ranking. So I'm pretty pumped about it. So yeah, I love all horror movies. I've always loved horror movies, which is funny because people think some horror movies are absolutely gross and can't stand them. I love them, and I don't get scared and worried about them. I was talking to my wife about this, who also likes horror movies, but she kind of likes thriller horror movies, kind of like Silence of the that. So some more thriller kind of horror movies where I like Jason slasher movies and stuff like that. But we were just talking about how real life sometimes can be more messed up than an actual a horror movie. Like you can watch a gory slasher, but sometimes just real life people can be more screwed up than movies.
Well, you see,
sometimes.
That's what I thought was. I thought Us was more of a thriller than a scary movie. I wasn't scared at all. I was creeped out, but I wasn't scared. It was more of a thriller, and people were saying it's the scariest movie of all time. I'm like, are you crazy?
No, it was more of definitely, like you said, a thriller. It was a really good movie, though. It was super awesome. I loved Us.
I was confused.
I love all different kinds of movies.
Explained to me 4,000 times about what happened. I just left the theater cross-eyed.
I explained it to my wife. I caught it right away with my wife, and my wife confused. I'm like, no, this is what happened. She goes, oh, that's really messed up. I'm like, yeah, it's totally messed up. So,
is your daughter into the horror movie too, or is she too young? Yeah,
she's too young. She definitely gets to a point where she can only watch so much. And there's some stuff I pushed the limit with. She's only 7, so I was like, I pushed the limit this year with some Goosebump movies. And she was okay with those. She's like, these aren't really scary. I'm like, well, I don't want to push too far. You know what I mean? If I push her too far, she'd be like, it's so scary. And then have nightmares. But no, yeah, I was kind of easing her into some horror stuff and everything like that.
Well,
so.
I was about
but horror's my...
I was about to play a Disney Fuji movie with you, but it's cutting out so much on us that I didn't want to risk it.
Yeah, I understand totally. I get it, man. I get it.
I did notice
this has been awesome.
I did notice that during the podcast they talked so much wrestling, and they talked so much about the shit finish, the Hell in the Cell, and Zanka being sleep deprived as always. He kind of shut down. I don't know if you noticed that, during the beginning of Facebook questions, he kind of was done already.
Yeah, he definitely was. I can tell definitely when Zanka's done. He's just done. Or Jake, sometimes he just gets...
shit, all the questions are going to get rushed through now.
Definitely. I love the questions, but there's parts of the questions that I just always, my questions, I try and toss in just some random wrestling related question. I love all the funny ones, man. I laugh my ass off at a lot of the hashtags.
Love the hashtags.
But sometimes, toss in a real kind of every once in a while I'll be thinking about a wrestling question. I'll be like, wonder what everybody... And that's like the big guy, fat guy question I asked a couple weeks ago. I'm like, I'm a big dude. I wonder what other people like of bigger wrestlers or who they like, So that was my curiosity is what it was.
Well, my LOL line of the week came from Zanka because he got the hashtag Zanka for WWE commentary, Zanka for Hog commentary. And then Zanka goes, what am I supposed to say? And Jake's like, I don't know. You could be put on HBO. And then Zanka goes, she hits her with the queef quesadilla. That was the line.
That was hilarious. That was hilarious. And I haven't heard anything about this hog wrestling until they start talking about it.
I had no idea.
So that would be interesting. That'd be another one to check out. I've never even heard of it before.
Shout out
there's so
to
many.
Terry from Facebook. was talking about his question was who would you pick to help double team Linda's bush, and they were saying that Deaf Lars would whisper in Linda's Bush's ear.
That was
That was
hilarious.
very funny. I loved it.
I miss Lars. We need Lars back on TV, like as soon as
I want to
possible.
know if he gets drafted tonight. He shows up tonight. That's going to be exciting because I know as soon as I get home from work, I get to watch that. I have to avoid all spoilers like the plague right now.
Me too. When we wanted to do this, I'm like, well, we're right in the middle of SmackDown when he's going to call me here, but I'm recording it, so I'll just watch it afterwards.
You get to fast forward all the commercials, so that's always a plus.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead and talk.
Definitely always.
Let's talk NXT for October.
I want to talk some NXT.
This is the second head-to-head episode in the Wednesday Night Wars. They start out by recapping last week's episode, which is great, and then they start off with Lio Rush challenging for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship, the champion Drew Gulak, and of course my NXT Hall Pass, my favorite ref ever, Jessica Carr, is refereeing this match. What did you think about this match, man? It had tons of good positive stuff about it. Loved it.
I loved it. The first things first, like talk about those mega pounders with cheese and everything like that. I heard Lio Rush weighs 161 pounds. That dude is small. I'm two of him. I am two Lio Rushes. But
yes,
the dude can go. I think he actually can wrestle. He can do some good stuff. And I love Drew Gulak. I always liked this stuff. I always thought he was didn't fit like the WWE mold. But actually, I like him. I like him a lot. And for them to open up with that, I thought was pretty good. And it was a good match. It was probably, I think, one of the best matches on the night.
My biggest criticism about Drew Gulak is his theme music. Doesn't it sound kind of dumb?
Yeah, and a little bit. He needs something with that. But I like how he comes out in like that robe-like look. Like he's almost kind of like a boxer and stuff like that. And the dude can go. He can wrestle. So he's done pretty good, I think, with himself.
He needs to come out to Eye of the Tiger. That'd be badass if they got the rights to that song.
That would be badass, actually. I would dig that totally. He comes out and he's just like throwing punches and stuff like that. That'd be pretty sweet. Flyer
Leo versus the submission specialist, the Philadelphia Stretcher, which I did not know was his moniker, Drew Gulak. This match was pretty badass. I noticed that the Hulu version's a little shorter, but a couple of good spots in this match is when Drew drop-kicked Leo off the top rope, and he landed on the crew members outside. Yeah. That was pretty. I hadn't seen that before.
I was like, oh. I never seen that, and I was kind of surprised. I was like, oh, he had all the crew guys there. So yeah, I definitely dug it.
Dragon Sleepers. They were trading Dragon Sleepers during the match, and yes, that's something
awesome.
You don't really
never see a Dragon. Right.
And then Lio Rush tried to hit the springboard stunner. That's when Drew Gulak countered it to the Dragon Sleeper, but then eventually they did it again. Rush hits the springboard stunner. Leo hits the frog splash, and Lio Rush is your brand new NXT Cruiserweight Champion.
Shocked. I was really actually surprised. I thought Gulak had it the whole way, but I was like surprised. And then I saw it. I was like, holy crap, he's won the belt. I was like, holy crap, there's a new Cruiserweight champion, which is kind of cool because that can open it up for all the 205 guys. I think he can go with a lot of the guys on 205 Live. I think that'll be a good, interesting matchup. So let's see who they pair him up with. It'll be neat to see how he goes up against. It's kind of interesting seeing Leo without Bobby Lashley.
It's weird.
I kind of like this new Leo himself.
Because we're so used to seeing him yelling and seeing him with the bald head and being all cocky.
Lashley. He's not doing that manager role anymore. He's actually like showing his own stuff, which I kind of think is cool.
Drew afterwards respects Leo, shakes his hand after Regal was trying to put the title on him. It was all respect right there. I think maybe Drew might get drafted. Maybe this was like his swan song for NXT in the Cruiserweight division. Maybe they want to put him on the main roster now because he does have a character.
It'd be interesting to see. I don't know where he would fit in. I have no clue. I'd like to see the guy go NXT UK because I actually watch that show too. I don't know anybody who really watches that show, but I actually watch it. And I think that's a weird NXT UK has got like this little cult following in the UK brand, but like I think he could do awesome there. I think he'd get lost in the shuffle on Raw or SmackDown. He'd be one of those guys chasing after the 24/7 title.
What I thought,
I think
I thought they would put him with Corbin. They'd put him with Corbin and maybe like in the authority role, because they kind of had him in like teaming with the bad guys when Drew Gulak made some appearances on Raw before. And Drew Gulak is an excellent pompous heel, and he can bring the fight too when he needs to. So I think he'd make a great heel in like a corporate position on Raw with Corbin.
It could be cool. That definitely could be neat or interesting. But I think you're right. I think maybe him dropping the title might push him up into a different show. We'll see how it goes. Be interesting to see him on the main rosters.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
What else was on NXT that show? NXT I felt this week was good. I don't think it was great. First week, awesome.
Yeah.
Second week, it was okay. That's what I thought.
I've been a big fan of the NXT on USA. This episode, I don't want to say it was bad. If I could, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I kind of liked AEW a little bit better this week.
I'd agree with you. 100% I agree with you right there. I liked AEW's difference this week. Different show and a better show. Whereas I thought like, oh, okay. Like the start the first week, you got to come out hot. When you're in this like Wednesday Night War, which they won't say they are, but they kind of are. Like you got to come out hot. They had 3 big championship matches in the first week. Then the second week, what do you got to follow that up? Is what I thought. I'm like, who are they putting up against who? I mean, they had Kushida and Walter, which I thought was kind of badass. I like the whole Pete Dunne feud he's in right now with that new guy, Damian, whatever his name is.
Damian Priest. Yeah, they call him the Archer of Infamy.
Yeah, I like that feud. It's different. I thought it was kind of neat. So,
well, after this Cruiserweight Championship matchup, we got a Finn Balor video package showing all of his NXT highlights, his WWE highlights, and just really showcasing what kind of a big deal this guy really is. And I think he's just going to bring all the excitement. I think he's going to bring the eyes back to NXT. And I'm hoping if they main event an NXT with Finn Balor versus an Adam Cole, Finn Balor versus a Tommaso Ciampa, that it gives the NXT the edge in the ratings, because Finn Balor is excellent, and I think there's enough people out there that will watch.
I agree definitely. I love to see Finn. The first week when he came out, I didn't even know he was coming out. And I actually was like shocked. I was like, whoa, Finn, back in NXT.
Surprise.
That's
great
awesome.
Surprise.
Good fit. It's a great fit. He doesn't fit anywhere on the main roster right now. Even though he can go with anyone on the main roster.
Yeah.
But I think he definitely is a good fit for people with NXT, man. He could go with anyone in Undisputed Era, and he could go through all 4 of them and then get to Colt, and I would love that storyline. You know what I mean? Like, I got to prove myself. So,
well, shit, if he brings the OC with him, if he brings the OC with him to take on Undisputed, like Zanka was talking about, my God, that would be amazing.
Put that in War Games. I would be all over it. That'd be amazing.
So they follow up the Finn Balor video package with a Tegan Knox video package, which was not on the Hulu cut. I'm doing this for Jake. Tegan Knox, she looks okay. I mean, I haven't really seen much of her, but they've been trying to make her a big deal, and hopefully this next week. Huh?
Yeah, I mean, we'll just have to see. You know, I mean, that's a question mark in my head. Like, I'm not sold on her yet. I don't know much about her, like you said. And
yeah,
do I think she's next, like Charlotte or Bailey or Becky Lynch? Not really. She looks kind of plain to me, but maybe she's just got to pay her dues and see how she can go. So we'll see. Maybe she'll surprise me. I like that Dakota Guy girl. I've never seen her before. Like the Aussie Kick girl. Never seen her till like
captain of
these
Team
last
Kick?
couple. Yeah, I never seen her till this recently. Because I think she was injured, right? Wasn't she injured for a while? Thought she was.
I think we're on the same boat here, because I'm not familiar with her either.
Yeah.
Which is kind of exciting if you
But
think
yeah.
about it, because they're introducing this new talent to us. We're so used to the stale WWE women's division. NXT keeps introducing new people that, you know, will give us a better, I guess, I don't know, diverse women's division as opposed to the same old shit we're used to seeing. Speaking of female divisions,
For sure. Go for it.
they follow it up with Rhea Ripley versus Aaliyah, which I did not know this was going to be a squash match. I thought Aaliyah was going to put up a fight, but nope.
Picked her up and swung her around like a rag doll. That was
brutal,
awesome.
dude.
I was just like, oh, poor Aaliyah. Yeah, she got her ass
And then her
whooped. But it was
friend on the outside of the ring just staring in horror as
like,
she's getting destroyed.
yeah. I'm loving what they're doing with Rhea Ripley. I like how she's chasing Shayna Baszler right now, and there's no match that's been had. I would push that off maybe till, like Royal Rumble time next year or something. Have her keep chasing Shayna, and Shayna's just like, no, you ain't in my league or something like that, just so that we don't get it like next week or something. Like, I want to see that match be prolonged. I want to see that match where she's hungry and she really wants to get that match done.
You want the build. You want to see the build. You want to see her take down everyone and then climb the ladder to eventually get to Shayna, right?
Exactly.
Well, I know the guys are
really
obsessed
good
with Rhea
match.
Ripley. She looks like the manager of Hot Topic who's about to quit. But then she has Pete Dunne's face.
Exactly. It's like the female Pete Dunne is what it is.
Yeah.
Like the brother sister is what it looks like. Yeah, I do like Rhea Ripley. I think she's different and unique. Like her music, talk about theme musics again. When she comes out to that song, that's a badass song. I do like it a lot.
I think she's the one.
She's awesome.
She will be
Definitely.
the one that dethrones Shayna. Watch.
I think so. I agree with you on that 100%. I don't think anybody else can. Like Bianca's had her chance, her and her hair and all that goofy stuff.
You know what they'll have to do is they'll have to draft a bunch of women from the main roster to come to NXT to challenge her in order for Shayna to have more challengers. Watch.
I heard that they're not doing anything with the draft with NXT though. I thought they're doing nothing with it. Like NXT is like exempt from the draft.
Oh, it is?
I could be wrong. I haven't watched SmackDown, but that's what I heard.
Well,
like they're only doing Raw people. Yeah. Exactly.
Well,
keep it the way it is.
After that matchup, we get also cut from Hulu, Breezango versus Everrise, but Everrise never made it out to the ring. The Forgotten Sons came up from behind him and beat the shit out of him.
Yep, they did. They just drug him out.
About this short match?
I like Forgotten Sons, and I'll tell you why. Forgotten Sons are people and wrestlers who are just there and they're doing a hell of a good job. They remind me of how the Revival is. Like they're doing hella good matches and no one's really noticing too much. But I think they're good. Breezango's kind of lost right now. Like they're not doing the police gimmick anymore. Stuff. They're there, but they're just dressing up kind of strange and acting silly.
Yeah.
But like they go, their matches are pretty adequate, you know. Forgotten Sons are doing. I hope they never really split those three guys up because I think each of them needs each other. Plus, I can't really ever tell them apart.
I do.
Except
don't
that
you
Riker
feel a little bit bad though about Breezango? Like they were getting squashed on the main roster. They get put to the NXT roster, and you think, oh, okay, this is gonna breathe new life into them, and they get squashed again.
Yeah, and they got the same old gimmick. They're dancing around, and now they're like construction workers, I guess. It doesn't make much sense. It's the same old stuff. I wish they would really like get the funny gimmick or get like a serious gimmick. Like the first couple times they came out, they were kind of serious, but then they eased back into like, hey, you got the police hat on, and now you're the construction guys and stuff. It's like either go 100% silly and be silly, or like 100% serious. This in between thing ain't working for me too much.
The Forgotten Sons win with their finisher, the Memory Remains. Then on to
the one where he jumps off.
Oh, Fandango did look impressive during the match. I'll give him that. It wasn't like a massive squash.
No. He put up a good match. I thought it was kind of like the podcast.
Following that up, we get a Keith Lee video package, also cut from Hulu, where it builds up the match for of Keith Lee versus Dominic Jigcock.
Djokovic,
What?
the big tall dude.
Something like that. Yeah.
Those two are putting on hella matches that nobody's really like. They're seeing them, I think. Maybe they put on some pretty decent matches. Where they're going, I don't know with either of them. Like I thought at one point Keith Lee might start challenging for the championship, but it didn't seem like that went anywhere. I like him. He's a big dude that can move. He can move like crazy. They did some match with Djokovic a couple weeks ago where they both went off the top rope and did like a Spanish fly together, and that was crazy because they're both huge guys. And Djokovic can like do some crazy stuff off the top ropes too. Like he's a big dude that can go flying around too. Where they're going with him, I kind of don't know. You know what I mean? They keep fighting each other.
I hope it leads to like a North American Championship contender match or something, because these two guys can go, and they deserve some opportunities.
Rather than just keep trading off and fighting.
Exactly, or else we're gonna get a Sheamus Cesaro situation.
Oh, and then they'll be tagging together. Oh, that'll be brutal.
Well, following that up, we get a Boa versus Cameron Grimes match, and this is kind of getting. This was a low point because Cameron Grimes, he has the look, but he just comes out and he squashes people every week. I thought Boa was supposed to be a big deal, but he's this Chinese dude they brought in and just gets squashed again.
All the time. And then if you think about
Killian Dane.
Yeah, dude, big Killian Dane. That dude's a monster. He's huge. He's huge, and he just comes
bag
in
full of chest hair comes out, and instead of getting Cameron Grimes, he attacks Boa. Alrighty, sir. So, Damian Priest video package against Pete Dunne. I thought it was funny that Damian sounded like Razor Ramon and he looks like a Mexican Baron Corbin, but him up against Pete Dunne should be a good match. What do you think about this guy?
I definitely digging him. I used to know him back from, he was in ROH, I think. He was like Punishment Martinez.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I always thought that guy would be a good fit because he's a big dude and he's tattooed up and stuff like that. I think he's still trying to find his place in NXT, but I don't mind him. He's kind of one of the bigger guys that's kind of like got a good look and everything like that. And him against Pete Dunne, I think will be pretty sweet.
Yes.
I think it'll be a pretty good match. He can go, and Pete Dunne I love. He's one of my favorites down in NXT, so I think it'll be pretty good.
Well, he better bring it because Pete Dunne's gonna fuck him up. Like I love Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne and Tommaso Ciampa are my top two favorite NXT guys, so they always put on great matches with everybody.
Yes, they do. I just love what Pete Dunne just grabs those fingers and just messes up the opponent's fingers and bends them all different ways.
I wince every time when he does that. It's like, oh god, because even when like if you hurt your finger on like a car door or something, it hurts. But this dude's like pulling him apart and wrenching on him and
twisting him, stomping his hand.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
So then we follow up with Roddy Strong taking on Isaiah Scott, who is also known as Swerve.
Swerve, yeah.
With his horrible entrance music.
I used to watch that guy, and there was a show called Lucha Underground.
Yes.
I used to watch that all the time, and he wore a mask back then. He was called Kill Shot. And I liked him back then. I kind of like him better in a mask, because I don't like this Swerve character too much.
Yeah.
But Roddy Strong, he's another guy that can go in the ring with pretty much anybody and make him look good. I definitely still love him against Velveteen Dream. I think that feud's pretty sweet. But I think it was a decent match. I mean, like, Roddy's awesome right now. He's hot, and so everything with him's going pretty good. I do like the pairing in the feud, though, back with him and Velveteen Dream.
Well, dude, the chops. The fucking chops sounded like gunshots. Did you hear how loud that dude was getting chopped?
Yep.
Insane.
Back when I was going to these shows back in the day, I saw a match between Roddy Strong and Daniel Bryan. He was Bryan Danielson on ROH.
Yeah.
And the chops were brutal. They were so bad. I was in attendance, and I just saw Daniel Bryan's chest just look like hamburger meat. It was brutal in that match. But, yeah, Roddy can go. He does all those kick-ass backbreakers and everything like that. And then, yeah, I definitely am looking forward to another match between him and Velveteen Dream.
Their adrenaline must make them numb to that pain, because just looking at it, we got the chops with Roddy Strong, and we got Pete Dunne with the finger breaking. It's sometimes hard to watch.
Yeah, exactly.
But it is
That's why I
entertaining.
think some people like it a lot more. I mean, like, you watch the main roster. I watch it, and sometimes my mind just wanders away. Like, they do the same kind of 5 moves and everything like that. And it's like, they don't look as realistic as, like, a Tommaso Ciampa, Pete Dunne, Roddy Strong. You know, I think those guys all bring. Matt Riddle's another one I think that brings.
Even
lot
a
of
Johnny
fans, too.
Gargano as well.
Yeah, definitely for sure. Their matches just seem like way more realistic to me and just more intense is the word I'm looking for. I think the intensity's there.
Well, Isaiah, he has his great strikes and pretty good grappling. He hit that draping DDT on Roddy Strong, and I mean, Isaiah pulling out a rolling flatliner. I don't know if you remember that move, but Isaiah swerve, he's impressive. I'll give him that. It's just he needs his haircut and music changed.
Give him 6 months to a year, and I think he'll be pretty big down in NXT. I think he'll be a big star.
Yeah, because he's relatively new in NXT, right?
Right, he is. He just came in the last couple months, and I think he's only been there like 3 months, maybe now, 2 months.
Oh, okay.
He was in that breakout tournament, and he didn't do so great, but you know, so.
Then that slingshot double stomp to the outside of the ring. Roddy hits the backbreaker. End of Heartache. Roddy Strong hits the Lion Tamer. And Adam Cole runs his mouth. Oh, wait, that's the end of the match, right? Roddy hits the backbreaker, End of Heartache, and then the Lion Tamer, and it was over?
Yep.
That was a hell of a
And then,
match.
You're right, Cole comes out. They all come out, I think, right?
Yeah.
Don't all of them come out?
Yeah, Adam Cole starts running his mouth, and then Velveteen Dream comes out to call out Roddy Strong from that famous balcony that the balcony's new, right? Because I've only seen it twice.
It's never been there before. That is new.
Okay. I know I'm not crazy on that one, but there's...
Yeah, the lasers and everything. He was all purple.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
And then Dream over here busting his chops with that Roddy Strong, Shawn Michaels Playgirl shoot with the championship belt on his package. And then...
When he took it off, I laughed my ass off. I was like, what? What? I mean, they didn't show anything, but it was still pretty funny because I didn't think they were going to pull it off and remove it or anything like that.
Well, what's up with Roddy stealing Jake's gimmick? Jake has the micro penis. Roddy can't just come over here and start stealing gimmicks.
Maybe he's listening to a podcast and he's like, I can get over if I steal that gimmick.
Jake has a lawsuit. Jake can win that lawsuit.
Yeah, I think so.
And then we get Tommaso Ciampa. He comes out with his camouflage crutch and clears the ring when he brings a chair as well. And Tommaso Ciampa talking to Goldie saying, "Daddy's home."
Daddy's home. That's all he said. That's all he's got to say. Ciampa is that good. He just needs to just do the most simple promos, and they're over. Like, even when they go backstage, which I know you're probably going to go to next, right? When that backstage interviewer tries to interview him.
And then Angel Garza comes out and tries to be all smooth.
Yeah. He says a bunch of stuff to him in Spanish, and then he's like, I don't know what he said. I mean, that was the funniest thing. It made me laugh, too. I don't know. Beat the crap out of him.
Did you see the Blackheart special, the network special?
No.
It was pretty good. It shows Tommaso being himself with his wife, and it's pretty sad. Go and watch it. I won't spoil it, but what the point I was getting to is that Tommaso, he's such a good character that back when he turned on Gargano, he got the crowd. I mean, it was fucking nuclear heat. Do you remember when Tommaso would come out and the crowd would say, "Fuck you, Ciampa. Fuck you, Ciampa." He is such a good heel. He can get his character over so great.
Yep.
And then
best heel in the business when he was doing that. He was the best heel in the business at that time. When it was that time they turned after Gargano, no one was hotter than him. And heel heat.
And then when he returns, the fucking roof blows off the face, he turns a 180, and now he's the biggest babyface the company has.
No. I think maybe that special did something for him, because wasn't it about? I think I heard about it. Wasn't it about him going into surgery too?
Yeah,
He was, like, holding his kid and stuff like that.
It referenced his knee injury back when he turned on Johnny Gargano at first, and then it went into his comeback, and then it went into how he hurt his neck, and he had to go into surgery, and he had to relinquish the title. It's actually pretty emotional. You see a bunch of, everyone's crying about it because it is sad. So don't watch it in front of your woman, or because she'll see you cry.
But yeah, I'll check it out. I'll watch it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Then we follow it up with Dakota Kai, the captain of Team Kick, taking on Bianca Belair with her weird ponytail.
I love Dakota Kai. I cannot stand Bianca Belair. I mean, I know she's supposed to get me irritated with that ponytail, but it annoys the crap out of me. Like, it hits her in the shoulder, and it's like, it was cool in the beginning. Now it's not cool anymore at all.
Yeah.
But it's like her gimmick. It's like her shtick, so.
She's really cocky for someone who's mediocre. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, she could decently wrestle. She's not a horrible wrestler in any way.
She did hit that standing shooting star press, which was very impressive.
Exactly. I think she can go. So.
Bianca has the strength, and Dakota with the speed and the strikes. It was a great match. Bianca kind of puts her away with authority there with the KOD, which is like, what is it, like a reverse avalanche bomb or something?
That's kind of what it looked like to me, some reverse thing, yeah. Like, whoa, that's...
So Bianca takes the mic, and she starts talking trash about Rhea Ripley, and challenges Rhea to a match. Who do you think would win that? I think I know the answer, but I need to ask anyway.
After that match, watching her with Aaliyah and tossing her around, she's going to get in there and kill her. Well, I think she will. Maybe Bianca will come out of nowhere and do some, like, shady tactics or something, and then, like, get a pin on her real quick or something like that.
Well, just picture Rhea Ripley. You remember what she did to that girl earlier in the show, tossing her around? She's going to do that with Bianca's ponytail. She's going to grab that long fucking ponytail, wrap it around her arm, and swing her around like Cesaro.
Jesus. Yeah, she's kind of like a female Cesaro in some way.
Pretty much, man.
Throws them around like they're nothing. I do hope that Rhea wins, but you never know, man. Something can happen where Bianca gets another shot. I don't think they would do that, though. I think Rhea's time's coming real soon, like we were talking last time.
I would not doubt it, because she's got the look, she's got the moves, she's got the work ethic. I think she's ready. She's ready to take out Shayna. Shayna needs to come up anyway. They need to bring Shayna to the main roster. She has nothing left to prove on NXT.
You know what I'm worried about? If they do that, though, those two lackeys she's got with her.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to be lost. I can't even name them. I don't even know their two names. One of them has Let's Fight, and one of them has Let's Play or something like that.
Jessica Manduke, and I don't know what the other one is.
You got it better than me, man, but those two will get lost. Unless they're drafted up with them and they bring all three of them as a team or something, those two will get lost. I never see them on NXT. I never see them in a match. They just always are tagging along with Shayna Baszler and beating people up whenever Shayna's almost going to lose a match. But they will get lost if...
They're very green, and they only wrestle at live events. They're not on TV that much because... they're still green. They still need some tuning out to go.
Definitely. I mean, they were MMA fighters, so, I mean, they probably still fight like they're fighting MMA, you know?
Yeah, they know how to fight. They just need to know how to sports entertain now.
Right, exactly. Good point.
The main event of NXT this week is the little Back to the Future Kushida versus the foreign Frankenstein, Walter. In a non-title match.
I've been loving Walter for a long time. I watched, like I told you, I watched NXT UK.
Yeah.
And when they brought that dude out, when it was Pete Dunne had the championship, I was like, oh, crap. I had a kind of a feeling, because Pete Dunne had that title for so long. He had it for like over 600 days.
Yes.
And when he first came out in an NXT UK takeover or whatever, I was like, oh, crap. Because that dude, he's a monster. Like,
Did you notice that Walter had a weird patch on his chest? Did you see it looked like a nicotine patch or like a bandage? Or if you look really closely at Walter's chest, he has some weird like cellophane like patch on his chest.
I wonder what that was. No, I missed that. I must have missed it. I was just watching for the chops. Because
Oh my God. Yep.
I was like, poor Kushida. He's going to get his ass kicked.
I like how they were trading at the beginning of the match. They were trading pats on the head. Remember that?
Yeah.
Like Walter was patting him like good boy, and then Kushida answered back with a good boy.
Yeah. I think Kushida's a pretty decent talent, too. I think, NXT, the WWE scooped up so much talent that was right out there ripe for anybody to pick up. Are all of them going to succeed? Well, probably not, but I mean, like, he's one of them that can go. I saw him in Ring of Honor a couple different times. He wasn't my favorite by far at all, but I think he's okay. You know what I mean?
Well, I got to be negative here. I'm going to be negative. I don't see it. Kushida, I do not see in the main event. I wasn't really that impressed with him, and he did botch off the top rope on this match. I did.
Oh yeah, I saw the slip big time. My daughter watched that match with me, and she's like, "That guy just messed up, Daddy." I'm like, yeah,
Even she knows.
Yep. And she's only 7, so it was funny. She's like, he messed up big time. I'm like, yep, that big guy's gonna kill him. So like, I think so. Yeah, she was funny.
I mean, Kushida did hit that DDT on Walter from the apron to the outside, which was badass. But other than that, I wasn't really impressed. I was impressed with Beth Phoenix. That's one positive I can say. Her commentary every week is getting better and better. That commentary, huh?
I do. I agree with you. I think her commentary is getting sharp. Hands down, those 3 are my favorite commentary team.
They got chemistry. They got some great chemistry.
Moro, he's awesome. Mamma Mia, everything. He's awesome. I love him. And then, I definitely like Nigel. I like Nigel a lot too. So all 3 of them together, I think, are a good pairing. And if they break those 3 up, I'm going to be pissed. But they're the best commentary team, I think, of all 3 shows.
With a Riptide Lariat, Walter ends Kushida's undefeated streak in NXT and stumbles upstage with his boys standing there with the Imperium backdrop as they announce matches for next week. It's going to be Tommaso Ciampa's return versus Angel Garza.
Well, we're going to kill him.
It's going to be awesome, and I cannot wait for that match. I can't wait for Tommaso. The pop from the crowd's going to be large. Are you excited for next week?
I am, because you know what? As much as I say he's going to probably kill him, that guy, Angel Garza, I watched him in that breakout tournament they had a couple weeks ago, almost maybe a month ago or so.
Yeah.
He went pretty decent in that tournament. Like, he reminds me of a very young Eddie Guerrero, so it's like, I could see him giving Ciampa a good match. I don't think he's going to win, but I think it'll be a good match.
Well, it'll be something new for me because I'm not familiar with his work. So I am hoping it's a good match. And, Tommaso is not going to go out there and squash him. He probably wants to help him out as well.
Right. Any other matches that were announced, or is that just the one?
I believe we're getting Pete Dunne versus Damian next week.
That'd be good, too.
So it's going to be good. I heard that AEW's got this fully stacked card this coming Wednesday with Jericho in the street fight against what's his name?
That little skater guy?
Yeah. So that should be good. I'll watch both, but yeah, like I said, I think AEW won the week this time, but I mean NXT was nothing to sneeze at. It was still good.
Yeah, it is still good. They're both putting on good shows, and to be honest, sometimes I'm liking them both more than the main shows.
Definitely.
I'll watch them both and keep up with it and everything like that. It's nice to DVR all of them because then you can fast forward through those commercials and stuff like that. Or like Jake does, watch the Hulu version, but with Hulu you miss out on some. But yeah, I'm definitely liking this Wednesday night thing because it does give us some more variety. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It is. Space it out because I never finish SmackDown right away on Friday nights. Usually it takes me to like Saturday night to finish it. But yeah, I'm trying to keep up with it. But I definitely like what NXT's doing, and AEW's got some good stuff going on too. Did you watch AEW this week or not?
I sure did, but the notes that I have about it are on the phone I'm using to call you. I took detailed notes and everything. They even replayed it this morning because now it's Sunday, where we started on Friday. We had some technical difficulties, so it's Sunday now. When I woke up this morning, I turned on True TV and they were replaying Dynamite, and it was on the opening match with the Street. What are they called? Oh, Private Party versus the Young Bucks.
You could just call it what it is, AEW's version of the Street Profits.
Basically. These dudes were very impressive, though. I was shocked that Young Bucks took the loss, but they like Tommaso Ciampa, they don't want to smash everybody or squash everyone, so they gave the Private Party a good push here.
A good push, and that's what I kept thinking in the match when I was watching it, which was a killer match, by the way.
Yes.
I kept thinking, like, okay, Young Bucks have been at the top. They don't need to be at the top right now. They need to build all those stars that we kind of don't know about, like Private Party, and get people to know them more. So I'm thinking in my mind as I'm watching, I'm like, I got some gut feeling that Private Party's going to win this one, you know? And then I was right. So I was pretty much spot on right there. I thought they would win it, and they did, which is cool. I'm interested to see who they're going to put in the finals of this tournament, you know? Not high on the best friends guys. They're all right. SCU's been around forever, so I don't know if they're going to be the champs. I do like the Lucha Brothers, because I definitely like Pentagon. I think he's a badass. And Phoenix is awesome, too. But are even the Jurassic guys in it, the Jungle Boy, are they in the tournament?
Jurassic Express will face the Lucha Bros this coming Wednesday on AEW Dynamite.
See, there you go, stacked matches, like you were just saying. Like, you put that match on there, and you got the street fight between Jericho and Ellen. I think that's a pretty sweet card, so...
I'm kind of nervous for NXT. They better dig something out for this week.
They better bring something good, you know, because it's going to be a challenge, you know. They lost, I think, in the ratings I read this week to AEW.
Oh, yeah, they did.
They won NXT. NXT won the first week, but then AEW took over the second week, so we'll see. We'll definitely see how it keeps going. I'm liking it, though, for sure.
Well, my friend, we did it. It took us 2 days. We finally did it.
Exactly. It's gonna be a nightmare for you to edit. But
I had a couple yesterday. I was getting all the successful connections we had and was chopping them up. But yeah, we did it, and I got to chop this one up. But hey, man, thank you so much for your time.
No problem.
Do you have anything you want to plug or any mentions?
No, not really, man. I just love the podcast and actually chatting with you guys and doing the chat sometimes, because I got to watch it, or I got to chat when I'm watching it, which automatically isn't always at the same time you guys are.
Yeah.
But definitely I'll come whenever I can. So it's good to chat with you guys on it and stuff.
Well, shit, man. Thank you for creating that. It's because of you. We all get to chat with each other. So that earned you a Hall of Fame spot.
I'm like, why don't we chat on this? Why don't we start adding people and just all chat together? You know? So, good stuff.
Alrighty, man. Well, thank you for your time. Thank you for being a guest. And as always, all hail Linda's Bush. Again, I want to thank Zankchris for being a guest on this week's Hangover. And I forgot to mention to him that yesterday we were playing with the Wu-Tang name generator, you know, the Wu-Tang Clan. They have this website where you type in your name and they give you a Wu-Tang name. And Zankchris's Wu-Tang name is Believer Waiter Oblong. Very random. Mr. Tryon, his Wu-Tang name is Occultist Loopy. Def Bob Lars, Wu-Tang name is Sir Master. After Party Jake's Wu-Tang name, Cadger Thundery, which sounds like one of those strippers in Vegas. Linda's Bush, appropriately named Murderer Tall. Mangria Fueled is Warlock Sturdy, but I entered my actual name, TC Rodriguez, and it's Night Insane, which that's my favorite one, so I'll go with that one. But anyway, time for the plugs. Over on Instagram, to follow the Steel Real After Party podcast, it's at Steel Real to Us. To follow the hosts of the Steel Real After Party on Instagram, at After Party Jake, at After Party Zanka. Over on Facebook, you type into the search bar Still Real After Party and hit the like button. And you want to cover your nips with some Still Real merchandise, shop.spreadshirt.com/Still Real After Party. And now we are down to the final 4 moves for the finishing move crumb offs. I'm going to ask Zanka for some help to post a poll. And now I'm going to put it up to the listeners. All listeners can vote on the final 4 finishing moves. And I will reveal the results on next week's After Party Hangover. Thank you so much for listening to this. This is episode 10. Thank you all for coming back and listening. And until next week, all hail Linda's Bush.